Yeah, before I got into the art world, I studied biology for years, and so I was able to help with a discussion on how this beast was actually built, or what the anatomy was on the inside, and how he might move and be posed. And while creating him, we knew that we wanted to have a beast that was a little bit intimidating, a little bit new and out of this world, so we drew inspiration from a lot of existing animals in the world.
And for Gruff's performance, a big influence was my wife's dog. We needed Gruff to act, but we didn't want Gruff to act like a person would act. We wanted Gruff to act like an animal. And so just living with the dog, you see, you know, why do you look sad? Why do you look happy? What are you doing with your face that communicates these emotions? And so just look at the dog and be like, okay, you're moving your brows a little bit, or there's twitches of your ear or nose, and you read emotions into that. And so we applied that to Gruff.
There were periods where we in storyboarding where we actually had horns on him early on, and we actually created the story to have an evolution to it. So there were temporary designs essentially that we used, and at first he had horns in the beginning of the movie, but it's different now. The whole movie process essentially goes about 3.5 years or so. The initial development, though, you know, it started with an idea of just this kind of mishmashed beast, and essentially we just had to tweak it out for the course of maybe a few years, yeah.
And we animated Gruff for about a year. The first part was just tests to explore his facial expressions. How does he walk? How does he run? And then just as you're animating the movie, you get to know the character more and more, and then it usually seems like by the end you really get a sense of who the character is, and then you're done.
Yeah, he early on, I remember a point where he actually came out of a cave and roared and showed his teeth, and she went flying back, and the way we had it staged was with the lighting so dark and everything, it was a little bit scary. So yeah, we changed some things over the course of the screenings. I know that for expression-wise, with that big mouth of teeth, he can't exactly smile or frown too much, so that mouth stays very stoic, almost like a cat does. You know, like you don't really see too many smiles on it. So that was always a challenge, to really use other body parts to show him emoting.
That's a tough question,
Yeah.
But I think I tend to follow my head, and so the challenge on this project was to just, for some scenes, just go with my gut feeling and not think about it too much, but just have an emotional reaction to the scene, the material, or the vocal performance, and just work with that.